JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. I want to talk to you about something that is so exciting from the standpoint of being able to help other businesses. And this all came about from a new friend of mine, Tony. And we were conversing on the PPP and his process. And so we got to know each other over that. And he's got quite a awesome background. I'm almost envious of it from Wall Street. But at the end of the day, Tony reached out, sent an email, totally blew me away. Amanda went into some tears. I went into a choke up, but Tony wants to put together and have me lead it, set it up, a foundation. And his overall thought was, and I love it, that we put something together that helps other businesses. So Tony and I got to talk and meet each other face to face. Meet each other face to face, COVID style, as in a Zoom meeting. Anyways, I'm gonna just let you listen in on our discussion to learn a little bit more about it from Tony and kind of his thought process on it. And I'm super excited. We do have a website. It's b4bcares.org. So that's just the letter B, the number 4, the letter B, cares.org. So I'll have it down in the body of this as well. So anyways, take a peek into our conversation. Moving forward.
Right.
Dean, you're kind of the godfather of it now.
Well, I tell you, it all started, once the CARES Act was signed into law. I guess it was late March, and I asked my son to just start searching on the internet. Once it was passed by President Trump, I was just seeking information. I had nowhere to go, and so my son Michael kind of did a search, and that's how he found you looking up payroll protection plan. And I guess he came up with the YouTube channel, and from there, he urged me to watch it, and we've been following you ever since.
Wow, appreciate it.
And then, early on, I guess that following week, we got together with our numbers, and we started putting everything together, what we think we're going to need, because there was nothing really out there other than those limited few lines as to what's going to qualify. And then, we got together with our banker, and then they informed us that we need more information. So then we started doing that, and I keep my books in order and up to date, which plays a big role, as you know, in all this. So we're able to quickly get our numbers together and our QuickBooks data out, and get it in by like Friday. That was like April 2nd. And we were like number 7. The bank advised us that we were in their queue. So that was really early on. They were impressed with our turnaround and supply as well. And really what happened was, once we received the funding for PPP, I did have a moment of relief, right? Like I'm sure most small businesses did at that moment. You kind of feel like, wow, it's in my bank account, and I saved my business. We can move on, and we can start doing something again. And we were extremely grateful to you and for all your guidance. And that led me to start thinking about, how we all can help, and others may follow. And I remember that you kept saying throughout all your videos for the past, 7 weeks or so, that you're not taking on new clients, and you're not doing this for money, and you don't want emails to do anything or anything like that. You want to promote anything. And I said, well, how do I can't help JJ in a way, and that's when it came to me. And that's when I emailed you that Cardiac Care Group will donate funds to a nonprofit entity that you create, and that the funds to be used, to help small businesses that are in need of assistance. And really and here we are today. I mean, that's really where it came from.
Yeah.
It was a way to give back. It was a moment of time to just think and reflect and say, how do you help? And obviously you didn't need any help for what you were doing. You were giving yourself and your time to all of us out there. And I just thought, like, how do we help back? And then it hit me as to this could be a great way to help businesses and provide information, resources, connections, and a way to share from others. Even if we're not directly involved, maybe a way for other people to contribute information and other people get that information, because small businesses aren't, sitting around, looking at ways to, grow their business all the time. Some of them aren't set up properly. Some of them need more accounting. Some of them need other business relationships. So I think it's a really good thing if it really takes off and
Yeah.
to really afford some good stuff to small business.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your vision on that. And, I think it says a lot for how you do business, and it shows that, kind of what you had put in there is that, we want to show that businesses care, and that's
Right.
what, we incorporated into the name. And so I kind of feel like, you and I are joining forces on this in terms of, what direction do we want it to go? And what I like is that both of us have said just what you just said, which is it's not only about the money. Businesses aren't charities. They're not really looking for the handout, but this can be a
Right.
hand up. And if we're able to provide, whether it's, a little bit of advice or an ear or a connection or a vendor or maybe help solve a problem, sometimes that goes just as far. And, I think from the standpoint of the monetary, if we're able to help some businesses, but we do it in a way that there's a system that has been in play maybe over in other countries, but, kind of these micro loans, even though it wouldn't be a loan, but it would be more, well, we're going to give you a hand up, and that'll help you get back to profitability. And then when you're back to profitability, it'd be great if you could give it back, so to speak, to then help the next business owner.
Right.
And I think, Tony, you and I had talked about, a way to kind of keep things in check and not have to worry so much about is, the kind of the trust but verify, in the sense of, well, what is it that you really need? What's that critical thing that your business needs?
Right. Take
Who's
action.
that vendor? Yeah. Who's that service provider? Who's that vendor? And then maybe we're able to help with that. And, Tony, some of it may even be, some negotiation skills. You have quite the rich, experience and background, that some of it may be an advocate just getting on the horn.
Right. Talking to the right
to
people.
talk with somebody.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, people are looking to do all kinds of things right now, especially in this environment we're living in. Some of it, even I thought of about refinancing. People who got loans on their books that are at some higher interest rates, and they kind of tend to leave them alone. But now's the time maybe to take advantage of some of that, as well as the Fed cut rates. And now, if you have a good balance sheet, and now's the time to. I know people are looking for loans to stay alive, but once we get past that, maybe this can flourish into things where people start thinking about, well, how do we restructure? How do we refinance? How do we free up some cash flow? How do we get those interest payments a little bit lower?
Right.
So there's things that come out of this that could be really good as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate your vision, because in some ways you coming from the direction, and then you're more than providing seed money to this. And I think with your background and your guidance, your connections, another part of the country, I think that this would invite. I know that I immediately will be joining you in putting dollars into it. In fact, Tony, I've had CPAs send me checks just to me. I got $1,000 check the other day from a CPA.
That's great.
So I plan to, I wasn't expecting that money, so I plan to, put that into what we're doing. Any monetization related to maybe some of the YouTube videos that we do related to this, we can put those monies in. Plus, I want to help out as well. But my point is that I think there will be people that join us in this, whether it's their time and the resources that we were talking about, but also possibly those that are able to give dollars. And I think that some of the negotiating that can come down to where maybe it's somebody that has a need, and then instead of us having to inject dollars, it's either maybe not through a connection, but who do they know, and help orchestrate. Because sometimes it's like with our kids, right? When they are trying to learn something, and we tell them over and over and over, and then we bring somebody else in, a third party, and they tell them the same thing.
Right.
They're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then they get it. I mean, even pro bono type work. I mean, once you've got the organization up and running, and it's a viable entity, and there are enough people participating. You go to a law firm, you say, hey, doing any pro bono? We got a guy that can use some
Right.
legal service, or
Yeah.
another accounting firm, or a
Yeah.
marketing entity, or whatever it may be, for any business.
Right.
So there's all kinds of ways that it can help out people as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then, you came across something where, maybe we'd be able to also get some grants. It looked like potentially
Right.
that would go
Right.
to our organization that can help with some specific things. So, well, so Tony, as you know, we're going to be, releasing a video after I go live that'll be
Okay.
us telling the story, and I look forward to getting that out there and kind of spreading the word to maybe get to the website. And people, you probably saw, because we just built it, down at the bottom, I decided to include an email portion. So if people want to just say, hey, here's what I can provide, or here's the resources that I have, even if it's not monetary, so they're able to communicate that
Right.
to us,
Okay, good.
other than just only taking a check or a credit card.
Right. Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So
I did see that. It looks good.
yeah. Well, Tony, we better get back to it. It
All
was
right.
great to visit with you. Nice to meet you
Thank you.
face to face via Zoom. And Amanda and I do plan to get down to Florida. And more than plan, it's where do we fit it in? Because we've got you, and we've got a couple others that we'd love to go down and meet and
Great. That'd be great.
incorporate into what we're doing. And now that we have this bond as well, it would be great to, just be able to sit down face to face. Obviously, we'll wait a few more weeks, so to speak. But anyways, I look forward to that as well.
Same here, JJ.
All right.
All right. Look forward to seeing you. Take it easy, guys.
All right. You too.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
everything, Tony.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye-bye. So on this website, I've got it pulled up on my phone. It's now getting pulled up on the screen, which pretty simple. It's one page. But, if you go to it, love it if you just check it out. B4Bcares.org. The letter B, the number 4, the letter B, cares.org. And right at the top, it just says what it is. But if you click and you want to pass everything down at the bottom, talks about where you can donate. And what I like about it when we put this together is that, if you don't want to donate, or you can't donate, or you have some questions about the donation, or you want to donate time or effort or expertise, and you just want to let us know where you're at, we've got a nice little email system where you can put in your name, your email, and then just send us a message of what it is that maybe you could contribute if it's not monetarily. So anyways, check out the website, and when we walk through the website, you'll see, we're kind of just talking about how do we get businesses back to normal, shaking hands, not wearing a mask at the kids' baseball game. What we're about is a nonprofit foundation created by fellow business owners to simply help other businesses in need during their time of crisis and recovery, spending time, sharing expertise, providing resources. With any business we share financial resources with, it's our intention that it be considered a grant used for a specific purpose, paid directly to the vendor providing the service needed or the item the business is in need of, with a handshake agreement that when the receiving business is able, they return the funds to our foundation. It's not going to be a loan. It's a handshake deal. Businesses don't need donations from other businesses, as businesses are not charities and operate to generate profit. When that profit is restored, the intention of the grant that contributed to that profit restoration, it is to be returned to our foundation to help another business in the future. This is not a handout, but a hand up, with the expectation the receiving business provide that same hand up to another business as soon as they can. So check out B4Bcares.org. We'd love it if you would consider contributing from the standpoint of there are businesses out there And as I'm traveling the country and all the emails and the submissions, I feel like I'll be able to, along with our 3-member board, maybe make some decisions on who could use a hand up. All right. Hey, I really appreciate your consideration and have a great day.